The Rotating Bed. Episode 4, The Replacement. Fong stood frozen. The patient in the opposite bed remained motionless in the darkness. His eyes were blank. No pupils. His dry, cracked mouth slowly opened. "He's found a replacement." The voice rang out again. But this time it didn't come from his mouth. Instead, it echoed from under the bed. The head nurse yanked Fong's arm. "Get out of here!" She almost screamed. They both rushed towards the door. But just as her hand touched the doorknob, bang! The door slammed shut by itself. The entire room shook violently. The wheels in the hallway stopped simultaneously. Silence. A heavy, suffocating silence. Then, creak. A sound rang out right behind Fong. His bed was rotating by itself. No more delay. It spun around in the middle of the room as if someone was pushing it forcefully from below. Screech, screech, screech. The wheels screeched against the tiled floor. The patient in the opposite bed suddenly fell to the ground. His body convulsed violently. His arms were twisted behind his back. His bones cracked. Fong recoiled in horror. The head nurse whispered desperately, "It's changing places. Don't let it take you under the bed. Don't look under the bed." But it was too late. Fong heard breathing right under his feet. Wheezing. Burning. The pungent smell of burnt skin filled the air. Then, a face slowly crawled out of the darkness under the bed. Fong couldn't scream. It was a woman, her whole body charred black. Her skin was cracked. One eye had dripped down to her cheek. Her lips were burned away, revealing a set of yellowed teeth in a crooked smile. The most horrifying thing was, her lower body was still stuck to the underside of the bed, as if melted along with the metal. She wasn't crawling on her hands. She was being dragged along by the sound of the wheels. Screech. Screech. Her charred eyes stared at Fong. Then her head tilted to one side. "Your turn." Immediately. The bed hurtled straight towards Fong. Crash. Fong was thrown to the floor. His leg, in a cast, ached terribly. The head nurse ran to pull him up, but suddenly she stopped. Her gaze fell on the tiled floor. Fong looked too. Under their feet, blackened tire tracks appeared. But the terrifying thing was that those tracks were appearing on their own. As if an invisible bed had just rolled over them. Creak. Creak. The sound grew closer to them. Fong felt something icy cold touch his ankle. Then a charred hand from under the bed grabbed his leg. Fong screamed. He was pulled violently towards the darkness. The head nurse tried to hold him back but couldn't. "Fong! Grab my hand!" she yelled. But the pull from under the bed grew stronger and stronger. Fong felt his body sliding down the tiled floor. Little by little, he got closer to the dark space under the rotating bed. And in that moment, he saw what was under the bed. Not just one person, but many faces. Patients who had been missing for years. Their eyes were wide open. Their bodies were distorted. Pressed tightly in the darkness like corpses crammed into coffins that were too small. They all looked at Fong. Then, in unison, they whispered, Stay with us. Stay. Stay. The room lights suddenly went out. The entire fourth floor was plunged into complete darkness. And in the hallway, the sound of dozens of hospital beds being rolled towards room 408.